Like, I have recorded for like 2 hours, and now I have to go home and edit this into something? Into what? I don't know what the fuck I talked about. All I did was tell the internet, hey, I'm a 29-year-old black woman, no kids, I own a dog though. I live with my parents, I have no job, I'm in debt, help me please. Like, what the fuck, what is this video? Yeah, I don't even know. what. One of the hardest things for me to do right now in my life is make this video. It's hard for me to do anything that goes against what I've already pre-established in my life, right? After I wake up, let's go to the bathroom, and then let's sit down at my computer for 12 hours and learn absolutely nothing, accomplish nothing. And then when it comes time for bed, let's fight the sleep monster, and let's stay up into the early hours of the morning, so that you have successfully accomplished one thing with your life, and that is to stay awake for almost 24 hours. Congratulations. Why did you do that? What's the purpose of that? Maybe it felt good to accomplish something, even if it's nothing. And then go to sleep and do it all over again. Confessions of a 29-year-old nobody. I've actually never seen a YouTube video where someone's holding like their like paper or script or whatever you call this, you know, whatever, notes in their hands. I'm not that good at memorization. So, or organizing my thoughts. Everything's always scattered, so I have to have something here. And even then, with all these notes, all this writing, I'm still not gonna know what to say. That's the funny thing. God, people are so amazing. Even the littlest things, like sitting in front of a camera and talking. I'm so amazed. I'm astonished. I'm like, how do people do this every day of their lives? Like, just so easily, you know? Effortlessly. Just talking about something in front of a camera. Just, even after all of the editing, you know, the finished product, you know, it's still something to marvel at. No matter how many takes they had to do, no matter how many revisions, they still did that shit. And for me right now, this is the hardest thing I've done in a long while. You know, I'm just going to film the introduction another time, because I'm having a hard time filming that. For whatever reason, I'm thinking of like so many thoughts in my head, like, how should I start the video? Is it going to be interesting enough? Is it going to be engaging enough? Should I do this? Should I do that? I don't even know how long I want this video to be. I just know I have 2 pages here of notes. So I'm just going to start going through these. And they're in no good order. Man. See, this is what I do. This is what I just get lost in the sauce. I just think. Ugh. Thinking. So, I have an addiction to spending money because it's the only thing that I'm good at. And the funny thing is that is entirely not true. Like, I'm really good at typing, but typing doesn't really bring me any joy. There's no feedback loop, you know? There's no, like, cue for the reward of typing. But when I spend money that I don't necessarily have on things that I enjoy, because after I buy that thing, I feel so much better. And then, after 5 minutes, the thoughts come back in waves. So, I think over the last 2 to 3 years, really over the last 6 maybe, I have bought over $1,000 of coffee from any coffee shop. It doesn't have to be Starbucks exclusively or anything. It's just coffee. I feel like when I wake up, I get out of my bed, the first thing on my mind, at least back then, not so much nowadays, but back then, and by back then I mean just even a couple, maybe 2-3 months ago maybe, but even still longer, just back then, the first thing on my mind after waking up would be coffee. Like the very act, the very routine of me waking up and imagining that the taste of the coffee just made everything so much better for each and every day, each and every morning, because I would feel like that's my purpose. My purpose is to wake up and leave the house. I'm out. I'm free, right? And get in the car. The car works. The car turned on. I'm so happy. And drive. I hate driving, but my dog loves it. And buying the coffee, not my favorite part, not nearly. Having to walk into an establishment. That's why I love drive-thrus, but I still hate drive-thrus because you have to interact with people. And I was a lot worse back then, right? Like interacting with others. But just the very act of buying coffee every morning really helped every problem I had for 5 minutes. And it's funny because the feeling would go away before I even finished the coffee. And that's what sucked. I'm like, damn, I was hoping my relieved happiness, or whatever you call it, would last the whole cup. That's why I ordered a large. So I could feel better for maybe 10 minutes instead of 5. So yeah, I have an addiction to buying coffee. Not so much anymore, but it's still there, you know. I bought one today for the purposes of attempting to make this video, attempting to start something in my life, you know. And that's my excuse. That's the excuse. Like, I don't have any money in my bank account. And the little money I do have, I spent on this coffee. Because I firmly believed it would help me make this video. It would help jumpstart my morning, like in the past. But like in the past, it didn't. Okay. So my addiction to spending money. I feel like I'm just so good at that. I'm so good at spending money I don't have. So that's how I was born and raised in the United States. Okay. So I guess you could say that's my way of trying to make myself feel better. I guess you could say I have a lack of impulse control. I'm trying to go through my notes because it's hard for me to like organize my life. So of course it's going to be hard for me to organize a script for a YouTube video. Because I'm not very good at talking to people in real life. And sadly, that recording videos in front of a camera with no one else around, you know, it's weird. But that's just how my brain works. I wonder if yours works that way too. When I was in the military, my addiction was probably at its worst because I was just buying. Well, that's actually not true. When I was in the military and I had steady flow of income, I was just spending on things that I didn't need. And the thing is, I wasn't spending money on things I did need. So, but when I got out of the military, it definitely got worse out of the military because things happen in the world. And yes, so yeah, I think I drank coffee habitually. Or like, not coffee, but lattes and other dairy drinks habitually for a good 3-4 years. Like almost every single day. So much so that it's a joke with my family, just how much I buy coffee. And each cup, you know, can range anywhere from $4 to $8, right? Especially $8 today. I think the worst part about that is that I was aware, and still are, because I'm admitting to it now, But I was aware of just how much money I was spending over the years, but it didn't matter because I felt so good after that cup. Even if the rest of the morning, into the afternoon, into the evening, into the night, I wasn't good. But that morning, for that time frame, I felt good. And that's what I wanted, to feel better. And I don't even want to say the D word because everybody's got it. Everyone's talking about it, right? Everyone, we're finally a people who are ready to admit that we are all just fucked up, aren't we? So like, I don't like talking to my family. So it's kind of weird trying to talk to people I've never met. But I feel like I keep thinking about things. I've been thinking about things, toiling in my brain for years. Months, years. And there's always something in there just holding you back. Holding you back. You're holding yourself back. I'm holding me back. And I like to think if I just stop and finally overcome, maybe something good will happen. Maybe I can find that thing that helps me feel good, not only just in the mornings, but throughout the rest of the day. So, credit card debt. Delicious credit card debt. So much credit card debt, y'all. I have $10,000 in credit card debt with Discover. And then I have like $5,000 with another credit card. It only got worse around 2020. Woo! And now, this is the first month that Discover hasn't taken money directly out of my account that I don't have, mind you. Like, I never forgot. I never forgot about my debt. Right? You can't really forget about that. It's always going to be in your mind. People can pretend that they forgot. Like, oh. But you don't forget that. Because that shit can change your entire life. Overnight, right? So you don't really forget about the debt you owe to whoever the fuck. So, but it's fun to pretend to forget. Don't get me wrong. I don't even remember where I was going with that. Oh man, it took me less than 3 years to go through $20,000. Yes, that is true. That is correct. I went through 20K in less than 3 years. Because damn. But I don't think people realize just how difficult it is to come from 12 years of schooling in the American United States public educational system for 12 years with all those expectations and all the fear and all the uncertainties and then to be shoved into the military straight after high school, and like you never had any interest, right? You only had an interest because someone in your life showed an interest and you were afraid to go against that person. So many things, right? But where am I trying to go with this? I don't think people realize, the majority of people, just how strange of a feeling of a battle it is to come from 12 years of nothing but doing what you're told and studying, and then to go into the military to do more of what you're told, only with the threat. Like, the threat is bigger than your father, right? Than everything, right? It's because if you don't do what you're told in the military, bad things can happen to you for the rest of your life. Like, you get kicked out the military with dishonorable. I don't know what you're going to do. All right. So, and of course, whatever else, but it's such a strange feeling coming from that and then going into that and doing something you don't want to do ever. Like you never had any interest in ever for 6 years. And then to be completely and totally affected by that in every way imaginable. Every way. And then come out of that 6 years and then expect to have everything in your life just totally just together. You get that? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think people realize how jarring it is to just be shoved into out of one major thing into another even bigger thing, and then be shoved back into normal life and expected to just have it all together. Like, it's weird, right? All right, the feelings I'm getting in this video is that the more I do this, the more I open up, the more I talk and get comfortable in front of the camera, and of course, the better I organize my notes and stuff, the more easily it will be to, what's the word? Talk. I want to go somewhere even more secluded. Because I almost got this. I'm almost in the headspace for this. Alright, so I have relocated to a church. Parking lot that's only open on like Sundays and Wednesdays and stuff. Because people are like me. People like cemeteries. I'm not the only one, right? So there was a guy walking by holding his phone up. So I don't know if he was on the phone or if he was recording too. I don't know. So and he made a beeline, like he was walking straight, and then he turned where I was parked and walked by the car and we did everything. I know. Liru, don't be doing all that. Liru. It's okay. And Liru did her thing. So that man was like fucking on his lunch break taking a walk through the cemetery, and I'm here trying to like spill out my soul. So this area is so quiet, so peaceful. I love it. This is perfect. I'm in a bit of shade. And yeah, okay, I'm in front of like a road here, and there's like a school down the street somewhere. And there's a neighborhood right there. And yeah, I live in an area predominantly black where, you know, the cops love to just hang out. They just love to hang out here. Because they get so much money. So I'm pretty effing sure that cops like to like pull up in this lot here and just do the thing cops do, right? So let me hurry up and at least take an hour, right? To hurry up and get comfortable. All right, the knees are up in the seat. Oh, man. So usually when people record videos in their car, it's not like a good thing, right? It's usually like to vent, right? Or to confess, right? Or something, to talk. So that's what I'm doing. Should I just start over? It is so hard to put all of your life thus far into like one video. But I have a hard time starting anything. And an even harder time finishing what I start. But I'm so proud of myself to actually be doing this right now. But will I actually edit this video? Will I actually upload it? That's a whole nother question. Because I know that I have to edit this video in a way that is engaging and visually entertaining, because for one, I'm personally right now, I'm not visually entertaining. I'm not like, you know, there's no boobs out, no ass out, no, I don't have a bunch of makeup on. I don't even have fake eyelashes on right now. I don't have long hair. I don't present like a woman, you know? I don't present like the women you expect to see on the internet, for any reason at all. So I don't even present like the women who have made videos similar to this, like confessing things like I need friends, or I'm lonely, or this happened, that happened. I'm in a mental state where I don't feel like pretending, you know, anymore. I don't feel like trying to put that mask on right now to like everything is all right, because not everything is not all right, and that is okay to say. I had to learn to be okay with admitting that not everything is all right, because once I admit it and once I accept the fact that not everything is all right, then I can, like, I like to imagine at least that I'll be able to tackle whatever it is that makes it not all right. But yeah, I'm just saying right now, there is absolutely no reason anyone who isn't feeling the way that I have titled this video, like, there's absolutely zero reason for any man to stay on this video right now, right? Any heterosexual man or homosexual. Like, if I was a dude, am I an attractive dude? Like, so, dude, like, there's no visually, not even like my voice is nice to listen to, you know, like, so there's no reason any man or any woman would have to continue watching this video. I understand that. Not unless I put a lot of edits in there, a lot of colors, a lot of things that are me. Like, no pretending, like, no trying to be like other YouTubers. Like, all these people who came out during the time of our lives, right? That time of our lives on this planet. All the people who came out and did their thing. Like, there's a lot of people coming out on YouTube and X and, of course, TikTok. So many new people out here doing their damn thing. I'm just gonna try my best to be me. Like, learn me, bro. The whole reason I said that was because I'm like, would I watch this video? Like, with this person being all sad and shit? All weird? Like, who is that? We live in a world where AI, right? Automated services and all that technology, this future, science and magic meld together, right? We live in a world where all of that is being favored over like actual humans now. Like, it's only gonna get worse, I feel like, because let's be real, like, the things AI can do in seconds that it would take a human to do is amazing. Like, I'm sure there's people out there who would rather watch like an AI generated woman who looks like they're dark skin. That's already a challenge, right? Dark skin, brown skin, like, but AI could do this 100 times better than me. Like, AI would generate a fucking model, right? Beautiful chocolate skin and shit. Just beautiful locks and everything, right? And talk about the same shit I'm talking about, but just better. So, like, her voice, the way she'll look, and then, of course, the way she'd speak. But this is, I'm not computer, I'm a real human being. And that's what sucks. I'm just kidding. But I want to be a real human being. I don't want to be a fucking AI NPC in a game. I'm good. I like this. That sounds like a nightmare. All right. So anyway, for whatever reason, I've already put myself down. So, but this is me trying. Holy crap, it's hard. All right. I don't know exactly how to do this video. I'm just going to go through my notes, okay? Well, the next thing I have listed is my weird headscape / addictions. I buy food to feel good. Yeah, everyone does, right? Okay, my weird headscape. So, the way that I am has only exasperated throughout the months, throughout the years. Like, I was this way in school. I was always this way. But I was just better at hiding it. And even still, I didn't hide it, right? But back when I was going to school as a child, you know, everyone told me what to do. Everyone, right? Everyone told you have to do this way. For this purpose, for this reason, because we said so. And so from grades pre-K through 12, I got really good at doing what I was told to do, exactly how I was told to do it. Because of that, you know, everyone says, like, when you do it this way, you're expected to succeed. And so I did it. I graduated high school, and that was that. But the way that I am has always been with me. I have discovered that I am weird. I've always been weird since I was a kid, right? But I only got weirder in my adulthood because I lost that focus. I lost that organization. I lost the voices telling me what to do. And I don't mean schizophrenia. I mean the world. Like, the world telling me what to teachers, people who aren't teachers, neighbors, of course my family, parents, everyone, right? And then you become an adult and then it all stops, right? So it's like everyone expects you to know exactly what to do now and where to do it and where to go without telling you anymore. And that is funny, right? Everyone expecting you to have everything all together at 18, and then at 21, and then at 25, and then at 27, and then at 30. Because by 30, you should be a multimillionaire. Shit, by 22, you should be a billionaire. Alright? At fucking 19, you should be trading stocks, right? You should be fucking. Like, I just kidding. And it's so funny. I've said all this without actually saying anything at all. And I expect everyone to know what I mean, but only I know what I mean. So, I don't want to come out and say that I have diagnoses, because that's not cool. It's not cool to self-diagnose yourself and then claim you have something and then live by that something. Because I don't want to give myself any more excuses to not do anything, right? I don't want to say that I have this thing that I do believe is true, but I don't know. So, I am super interested at first, or manic. And that's true. When I think about doing something and then I actually do it, I'm super into it, right? I'll do it just to do it because I like to think doing it is better than not doing it. And then I'll learn that doing it doesn't yield the results that I expected, or not fast enough, or this or that. And then, you know, I'll get into that mindset where I just don't do it anymore. And that's what set me back. Is that I got really into something that was proposed to me because I'm really good at doing what others tell me I should do. And unlike when I was a kid, in my adulthood, I give it a lot more thought before I do it. So I did this thing and now I fucking regret it. And so I think last year I got into, I was trying to change my life as I do all the fucking time, trying to change my life for the better, trying to find that one thing that I can do because everyone seems to have this one thing that they do, right? That they're good at, that they enjoy doing or something, or they enjoy the thought of doing it because they yearn for or they desire that effect, you know, whatever they're getting out of that. I still don't have that one thing in my life, but I'm looking for it. But at a time, I thought this was the thing that was for me. I bought a bunch of shit. I joined a government surplus site. And I joined like a warehouse bidding site. And I bought a bunch of shit that I was going to sell on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. And then because I bought all this shit, I thought I would be good at selling, you know? I thought I would be, and the thing is, I'm okay. I'm good at like taking pictures. Like really, I'm good at taking pictures of the product and like listing the product. But when it comes to selling the product, you know, like keeping that enthusiasm and then having to communicate with buyers, and then, you know, no one's buying it, everyone's interested, and I gotta keep communicating, and I already hate talking to people, so now I gotta keep talking to people online for this product. It wasn't for me. So I have 2 storage units that I've been paying for like a year and a half, I think, or a year. And that's like, I can't afford them anymore because I went through something mentally. And I just have all this shit in storage that I accumulated debt. All that debt I have is partly because of this and partly because of something else. I'm in a place where I'm just like, fuck it. Like, I can't afford these storage units anymore. I don't even want to sell this stuff anymore because I know a part of me is like, if I sell all the stuff, it's not going to be enough money to pay back the debt. It'll help chip away at it, but not enough, you know? So it's so funny how my mind works. I find this drive, this enthusiasm, this confidence out of nowhere. And then out of nowhere, it just vanishes. I also make a lot of unfulfilled promises to myself. That's the worst part, right? To yourself. Because I'm so self-aware. That's what sucks. Like, I'm aware I'm making these promises to people and to myself. And I'm never fulfilling them, right? Like I said to my partner, I'm like, yo, I'm going to get into this SQL thing. Yo, I'm going to fucking study this. Yo, I'm going to join this class for SQL. Man, I got to start taking better care of myself. Like, I like to think making these videos will give me that drive and passion to actually, like, want to prolong my life. Because I have so much phlegm, so much, like, stuff in my head, in my nose. Like, it's hard to breathe through my nose, and it's hard to talk. Because I could feel, like, something here. Like, here? I don't know how to explain. Here, and, like, here. It's gross. I have problems with my imagination. I am very good at imagining myself doing things and never doing them. I'm also, like, my head's dizzy since I blew my nose. I don't know if that's a good thing. That's probably a horrible thing. Like, you probably shouldn't feel like that when you blow your nose, but that's how I know I'm fucked up, so. I have an issue where I'm so good at imagining, like, the end result. I imagine, like, success, right? I imagine all these things. Daydream, whatever you call it, that's what I do. I don't actually do the thing. I imagine doing it for a very long time. And then the time I actually do that thing, it's never how I imagined. Like, I can never follow through, right? I can never do the thing how I imagine doing it. I'm never as enthusiastic as I imagine myself. The end result is never the end result because I never get there to reach that end result anyway. So that's where I mess up. Okay, in my notes I have, if I do this, this might happen, and that might happen, and that thing happening is a good thing. And I like good things, though they're not guaranteed. So that's how my brain works. I get stuck imagining a future that never comes. Always fantasizing, always imagining, daydreaming, constant videos and images playing in my head of things I wish I could do and can do, but I never do them. And when I do, it makes me not want to do it again, you know, because I didn't do it as good as I imagined myself doing it. I imagine myself starting an instant success, no failures. And when I do imagine failures, there's always a way out. But that's not how life works, right? Like I can't predict the future. Like I can think, I'm so good at imagining all these different outcomes, but in my weird headscape, I never start things. But the thing is, like, I never start. I want to start. Like, it sucks to be so aware. Like, fuck. And then because I'm so aware, I hate myself more. So I do the thing. I do whatever the thing is I want to do, but it's never, I don't like doing it. It's never as good as it is in my mind, right? Say if I imagine like fixing something, like that something needs to be fixed. I'll think about fixing it for days, right? And then I'll finally gather the strength or energy or whatever it is I need to start this process. And there's always things stopping me, like you need this tool and that tool, and in order to acquire this tool, you'll have to do this and that. And in order to do this and that, you'll need to that and this and this and that and that and that. Blah, 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 blah. That's how my brain works, right? So I feel like there's always me stopping me, right? Like, oh, I don't have this tool because I need to do this and that. Or whatever the fuck, you know. But the thing is, when I actually get to that point in my day of my life, and I actually sit down or stand up to do the thing that I imagine myself doing for like 2 weeks beforehand, I either don't finish it or do it nearly as well as I imagine myself doing it, and then regret it doing it, or just I hold off for another future time when I'll do it better. As I have here in my notes, I have a fear of success, a fear of failure, a fear of the unknown. That's me. I'm stuck in this bad feedback loop of a routine that isn't working. Yeah, that's me. Nothing is good for me that I'm doing right now in my life. Like this addiction to spending money. Now that I'm at a point in my life where I have no money left, like no savings left. Like I spent all my savings on bills and then food, because the way my mind works is like, I want to cook for myself. I want to learn to cook for myself. I'm like, hey, I should just invest in a really good rice cooker. And then I think, but fuck, I can't just eat rice for the rest of my life, you know? I need to add things to the rice to live a healthier lifestyle. So I'm going to have to spend money on like meat products or some other products to add to the rice. So because of that, I don't buy a rice cooker yet. Because I'm like, I need to get the other things in order first in my mind. Like, where am I going to get the meat from? I don't want to buy meat from the fucking store because that's not real meat. And then so many other things that I don't want to put into this video because that's a whole nother topic about grocery store meat and fruit and veggies and the huge woof. But yeah, I'm just like, that's just how my mind works. I'm just, where was I? I don't remember where I was. Like, oh yeah, I want to cook for myself. Yeah, I want to learn to cook for myself and all this stuff. But then I think, you know, as they say, tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow is a new day. I'm going to do that shit tomorrow. I'm going to look into investing in a good rice cooker tomorrow. And I'm going to find a farmer to get my meat from to add to my rice. I'm going to go to the store and get some veggies. But I'm also going to start growing my own veggies because I don't trust buying veggies from the store. But I never get there. And so here's where my impulse control and depression and all the shit comes back flooding. So because I'm thinking like, hey, I'll start organizing those thoughts tomorrow. I'm like, today, let's spend some money I don't have. Let's fucking go to DoorDash or Uber Eats and buy some fucking food for these tremendous ass fucking prices. It's just weird living in a world where it feels like everyone else has it all together. And then your world is shattered and slowly rebuilt over time when you learn that the people you believed have it all together probably don't. Some of them don't. But for the amount of people that we see propagated, I don't know if that's the right word, but the amount of people we see gain the riches and fame online, you want what they have because it just looks like they have it all together. And then, you wonder how. Damn. Because I sure as hell can't figure it out, There's so much phlegm in my skull. I don't like it. And I know that's bad. I started a sentence. I started a whole ass, something important. I don't even remember where I was. Because I had to blow my nose and... So I'm good at making promises and never keeping them. Like I told my mom that I was going to take her to church. The one thing I learned about going through everything I did, everything mentally that I've been through over the last 10 years, I've learned that no one really ever knows what you're going through except you. Like they can see it, sure, depending on how well you hide it, but they never know. And the thing is, you can tell them. You can tell people just what you're going through. And even still, they don't know. Because it's hard to grasp the mental struggle of you personally. It's hard. I mean, it's easy for people to empathize and sympathize, but to fully, truly understand. And that's partly why I don't like talking to people about this stuff. Because I feel like everyone goes through it, right? Depression, mental issues, fatigue, mental fatigue, physical fatigue, and all that. Everything that you could think of that happens up here and affects everything out here. Only you really know, what you're going through. But I think there comes a time in everyone's life where they don't want to go through it alone anymore. I just don't want to go through it alone anymore. That's all. Because I know there are others out there feeling it. Everyone feels different, right? Everyone goes through it differently. There's a lot of things that affect it, right? Society, culture, family. And of course, there's a lot of judgment in there. Like I personally have felt like if I tell others what I'm going through, people I know, people I love, especially if they're the cause of something that I'm going through, I feel like there's always going to be you're afraid of judgment. You're afraid of truly being seen. The real you're afraid of a lot of things. And I think I'm getting to that point in my life where I've kind of come out of that low point, I've come out of that low point. I've gotten to a point where I had to do a lot of fighting back and forth with myself. But I finally accepted that realization that I'm not okay. And it's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to not try to fix your situation. Funny, because I suffer in silence. I don't really like complaining. At least not often, right? Because we all do it, whether in our heads or outwardly. But I only feel this way because I know I put myself in this situation. And I know I'm the only one who could really bring me out of this situation. I have to choose to step out of this uncomfortable comfort zone, because damn, I am not comfortable. I haven't been comfortable for the last 10 years. And when I do believe I'm comfortable, I'm not. I feel like the only people who are comfortable are probably like the people who took your money out of your fucking pension and shit, you know? They're the ones who are okay. But you're not okay. But this has got to be one of the most disjointed videos on YouTube. When I was going through it, I had trouble with my eyes. Like, since I was a child, you know, it was hard for me to maintain eye contact, especially with authority figures, because of my childhood. There's a lot of shit that is because of my childhood that I have had a lot of time to think about. And it was exactly because I've thought of all of these things and I had so much time to think that and I'm so glad I had this time to think, even though this thinking time was at my lowest time. Like you could say the last 10 years of my life was thinking time. But really, it was a roller coaster of emotions, you know, until that final low point, just a year ago, just two years ago, just a couple months ago. I'm all over the place. I hate that, man. But what I was going to say, oh yeah, I remember. So since I was a kid, I had trouble looking people in the eye for a long period of time, like just maintaining eye contact, talking to you. And then it got to a point where I learned that, because I studied people. I learned that, you know, people love it when you look interested, you know, your eyes show like I'm listening and I'm comprehending what you're saying and I'm following along. So I got good at like making facial expressions, and I got good at like just general responses to people when I'm talking to them. But I never got good at eye contact. Like, it was really bad in the military. The worst it's ever been in the military. It was in the military, but it was still bad outside of the military, because I felt like when I looked at people, I could just hear all of them. Like, I could see on their face things I didn't want to see. I could hear from their eyes things I didn't want to hear about them. And it's funny, because that's how I felt about me, too. When I was going through it at my lowest point, just a couple months ago, you know, I thought, like, when I looked at people, especially if I could tell that they were going through some shit, like fast food worker, like anyone, like, I would immediately look at you and then look away, and like, because I was afraid that you'd see the real me, because I could see the real you. I don't know how to explain it. Because I have a feeling when you've been through it, when you've been through a dark time, that you can't really explain to other people because you don't want to. Part of me does not want to explain the shit I've been through mentally. The shit I've been through, you know, outwardly, that's not mental too. I don't really want to talk about a lot of things because sometimes it is hard. But other times I just don't want to. Like, looking people in the eye, they'd see the real me and they'd hate me because I hated me. And I think the only reason I can make this video, or attempt to, is because I'm starting to like myself. Like, I've always hated myself because I never really knew myself. Like, it's like I was given all this stuff that I didn't know what to do with it, you know? And I hated myself for not knowing what to do with things. And I also hated myself for you know, for a long time being told what to do with things, and then, you know, learning about things. I'm being so vague, but learning about the world or what people tell you about things, learning about it for yourself, and then not doing what they tell you to do, and then hating myself for not doing what they told me to do or expect me to do. Because I know if I did the thing that they told me to do or expect me to do, like, my life would change. And I wasn't sure if I wanted my life to change in that direction. If I wasn't sure if I wanted to invest that much energy and time, devotion, you know, into doing the thing that they expected me to do or told me to do. So I go against what you told me or expect me to do, and then I hate myself for it. But yeah, eye contact it has always been a huge problem for me, and I think I'm getting better. But it was funny because I went through a time when I wasn't sure if people could tell that I'm faking it. Like, I'm not good at talking to you right now. I'm not feeling very good inside, but I'm going to try. Hopefully you can't see how much I hate the situation, so I'm not going to look at you in the eyes. And then, or it just like, I didn't want people to see how scared I was or anything, you know, because the eyes, like, I learned before I even learned that the eyes tell you everything. It's scary when people are really good at hiding their eyes. Like, this person could have did some of the most heinous shit imaginable. And looking in their eyes, you'll never tell. Like a doctor, right, who does some evil stuff, right? An OBGYN male doctor or something. And secretly they're like recording, you know, and and like, you know, you trust your doctor. So when you look at the doctor in the eyes, you can't tell that they were secretly recording your vagina and then selling it on the Ooh, but then when they get caught and then you look at those eyes, then oh, now I see the darkness. That's what I mean in a way. Does anybody get this? Because I don't even get this. Because I'm not good at this. Alright. Yeah, but I'm really good at not asking for help. Because, you know, growing up, I went through a lot of shit on my own. Especially mentally. A lot of my mental problems came because of some of the shit from my childhood. So... So asking for help when your parents are just, you know, and money's tight and the money affects them too, not just your presence, you know. So who wants to ask their parents for help when you're afraid of getting in trouble for asking for help? You know what I mean? And I went through a lot of fucking pain growing up because I still don't know how to talk to my mother. And I don't talk to my father. I mean, I do. I talk to my parents. But, I feel like me and my brothers, we don't know how to talk to our parents. Like, I talk to my parents like... I just talk to my parents like respectful adults, right? I talk to my parents like they are respectful adults. Because they are. They're adults. And they deserve respect. And there are moments when I do try to, you know, break out of that mental, whatever you want to call it, and then talk to them. But then I realized that it's kind of late. For me, personally, it's kind of late for me to learn how to talk to my parents. And I don't really want to learn how to talk to my parents now. I'm good. It is what it is. Yeah, if I could win an Oscar in my life over the past 20 years of saying, like, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm okay, and smiling, because that's what I'm really good at. I'm really good at that. I'm really good at pretending. But I also feel like the Oscar should go to, like, a young child in, like, a developing world country somewhere who has it, you know, a billion times worse than I ever did. And already they've experienced more than any adults in the United States. You know what I mean? That kind of shit. And, you know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people could say, like, a fucking course she's fucking mentally weird because she thinks about shit like that. But I can't help but think about shit like that because that's the world we live in. We live in a world where what I just said is happening. Right when you're watching this video, there's an 8-year-old kid and name a country trying to send money home to their parents and their fucking 10 brothers and sisters. Like, that's the world we fucking live in. Can you imagine that shit? We live in that world. And this is the world that we have created. No wonder I'm fucking fucked up. How can you not be fucked up in a world that's fucked up? You know what I'm saying? I like confidence in front of a camera. Like, I imagine if I had confidence in real life, I wouldn't look like this, right? I don't know. Like, maybe real confidence is looking like this. I don't know. But confidence comes in all sorts of different forms, right? Like, confidence could be the guy coming out in like a full furry costume in 85-degree weather. You know, I'm going to say I'm pretty confident right now to be making this video. I don't like myself, and I fear others won't like me as much as I don't like me. Obviously, I don't like myself, as I'm in the worst health, worst status, and everything. That's what I have in my notes. And that is a legitimate fear that everyone has on the internet, right? At least adults. Like, I feel like children, they lack this worldliness, right? They just want to be, they just want to do. But when you come into that mental mindscape, or when you come into that level of thinking, and you build barriers and start worrying about what other people think and all that stuff, then yeah, of course, you're gonna fear what others think of you. Like, I know I look like a dude. I know I look like a dude right now. I've been called a little dude. I've been called a man before. And the funny thing is, I never mind. Because I like to think I'm trying to still grow comfortable with just being me before I can try to be someone else. Like, because I feel like I'm always being someone else. This happy, smiley, everything's fine. I'm not. It's good. Let's just keep going. I live with my parents at 29 years old. I'm jobless. I'm hopeless. But I'm hopeful. I don't know. No kids, but I have a dog. I was gonna say baby, but my Buki. Ever since I was a kid, ever since I was young, right? I've always wanted to have a best friend, a dog best friend, or just a best friend. Because growing up, I was never good at making friends, and I was never very good at keeping those friends. So when I was a kid, because I was just so weird and lonely and afraid, I knew that if I could have like a furry best friend, a furry family member, that would help me tremendously. And so I finally adopted my baby from animal control shelter when I was like 25. Wait, 25? And yeah, she was the first great thing I ever did. Like, I don't even call joining the military after high school a great thing I ever did. It was the worst thing I ever did for myself, to myself. Well, not really now. There's like personally taking responsibility. There's other things that I do feel are worse than what joining the military. That decision, the military affected me more than I guess it does other people, I guess. Like, I feel like if I was a white dude from Texas who didn't even have to grow up in a military family, just grew up with like a patriotic father or something, or just I don't know, anything, right? And I grew up like hunting or just fishing or anything. If I was that kind of person and then I joined the military, I feel like if I was that person, I would have been different. I would be different. And the military would have affected me completely differently if I was a white dude from Texas rather than a black woman from Georgia. I actually do have a boyfriend, surprisingly. And they're not fictional, yay! Especially today. We live in an age of parasocial, they call it, parasocial relationships and other things where humans are just more easily attached to like fictional characters and people you'll never meet, right? Like you can't meet that fictional person, or you can't meet this OnlyFans creator, or you can't meet this Twitch streamer. You'll never, like, if you could meet them, it'll be like for what, a minute, a couple seconds. Like unless you can get on their like their business team. So yeah, we live in an age where that sort of relationship is completely accepted because it's everywhere, right? Like I have my favorite video game characters or actors I like and imagine and shit, right? But yeah, I actually have a fucking human boyfriend. And I am shocked sometimes. Adopting my dog and having the courage at a better point in my life to actually talk to another human being in hopes of establishing a relationship with them. No matter how disjointed that was, it worked. I accomplished that. So yeah. Having this loving partner by my side, like for whatever reason, he's still here. He's still here. I don't know. I think that's my way of saying I fucking love him. All right. But yeah, like he is like the second best thing I ever did in my life. But yeah, I'm putting the military in there because without the military, I don't know. The thing is, you'll never know. I'll never know. Never know. If I did not join the military, I would not have saved up enough money to at least get me to this point. In the military, I saved up $30K. I saved up $30,000 in 6 years. And I spent a lot of money on myself. Like I bought a bunch of anime and manga, shoes. I love shoes. Like, never things I actually needed. That's the funny thing. That's how it works. I never bought anything I actually needed, like vitamins and supplements, cookbooks. I mean, I do now, or at least that's my addiction. I love buying books too and never reading them. Yeah, I never bought anything I actually needed to make my life better in the long run, right? Just to make myself feel better in the there and now. That's what I did. But yeah, and you know, I wasn't smart enough to invest my money. And it's funny because I thought about it. Because I'm really good at that. I'm really fucking good at thinking about things I should be doing, but never doing them. And like, I think about so many things. Like I thought about stocks. I thought about portfolios. I thought about, I think the only good thing I did was have a savings account. That's how I saved up the $30K. And I only had a savings account because I was told that that's what I should have. It's funny when I try to imagine like the person I could have been had I invested my money into other things. If I was that much of a go-getter, you know, if I had that enthusiasm, that drive, that will to learn how to do these things to better my life for the long run, I always kind of psych myself out of it because I think bad things that have happened to other people, you know, like the fucking, because the world is both balanced and imbalanced, and it's unfairness, right? Like when it's happening to you at the moment, it's fucking unfair, because then you see or you rather know, you don't even have to see, but you know there are people out there who did the same exact thing you did, but they're not going through the same turmoil that you are. So what I'm getting with this is, if I was that different kind of person back then, to invest my money into better things than just letting it sit in a savings account for 6 years, you know, would you know, I psych myself out of those thoughts of like, I could be better than I am today had I done things, by thinking like it wouldn't have worked anyway, because if I was cool enough to do that, my money would have been taken from me anyway by the powers that be, like what happened a couple years ago. The GameStop stocks, like it's so funny. I followed that shit pretty close because everyone was shook. That showed everyone that you are not playing a fair game, ever. All right? You'll never be a real player in this game of life, because you weren't born into that right family. You don't have the right bloodline. You don't have, or lineage. You don't have the right last name. You don't have the right parents. You don't have the right upbringing. You don't have the right know-how. You don't have the right people, right? It's not what you know. It is really who you know sometimes, I swear. But yeah, there's so many things that play against you in life. So I like to imagine, like, sure, I could have invested my money and been a financially better person in the long run, but my money would have been taken from me and all that. But still, I don't even know where I was going with this. Those three things: the military, my partner in crime, and my dog. The three best and three only best decisions I have made in my entire life. Like, the military didn't help shit, right? I hated the military, right? But the money that I didn't spend, that I actually saved, that's what helped. It's so funny because, you know, I served 6 years and I hate it so much that I'm not even like looking into the other benefits that I could be receiving. Like for college and stuff, I need, and it's funny, I think about it all the time, right? I think about a lot of shit, but I don't do anything. Because I think like I need to look into my Montgomery GI Bill, but I don't know what classes I want to enroll in, and I don't want to enroll in the wrong class. And the person whose house is over there next to the church, because there's a neighborhood over there, their windows are rolled up now. Their blinds are open, which means that they probably see me over here. No, I hope I'm not going to be a funny, weird TikTok video, because that's the age of the internet. That's where everyone is now, right? You're either on TikTok or you're not, and you're going to be on there whether you like it or not. Like, I feel like that's how it is. It's so funny, that feeling I have. Like, it's like I feel like everyone's on there when they're not on there. Like, because people record other people without their consent, right? The people be recording you. You could be recorded at any moment of any time of any day of your life. And that is what is so weird to me. I'm not 40, I'm not 50 years old. I'm 30. But that shit is so weird to me. That, like, at all times of any day, like our government, right? Our phones, Alexa, like your smartwatch, random stranger, is like everyone is watching you and keeping tabs. That is so weird to me, that we live in this time, that we live in this age of no privacy. Like, you could be famous whether you want to or not. Like, fucking, you fall down, trip on a sidewalk, scrape your elbow. Someone recorded that shit. And your ass gonna be on TikTok, falling on a fucking curb and getting up and being, okay, you okay. You get up, kind of look at your elbow, shit, ow, and walk away. But your ass is famous on Reddit from TikTok. You don't even know it. Like, this world we live in. So the last thing I have here is depression. I went through a depressive phase. I weighed 180 pounds, and then I weighed myself and I weighed 150. So I lost 30 pounds in under 6 months because I was going through it. Like I went through, it's so funny how it works, right? I went through a phase where I ate a lot. Like, I don't know how to explain. I ate a lot, right? I spent money on a lot of food, and I still did that shit, right? Until I didn't, right? Okay. But yeah, I ate a lot of money. I ate a lot of money. Yeah, I did. I ate through my money. Cause eating made me feel better. Spending money made me feel so fucking good. Like I was achieving something. And then the food was my achievement. And then I gained weight, right? And that was one of my phases. And then I went through the phase of not eating. And I lost 30 pounds. Like, because I was always thick, you know? Especially when I was younger. Thick girl. I didn't know what to do with any of that thickness, right? Because everyone's telling me what to do with my body. And that's a whole conversation for a whole nother day. But I'm just saying. And that caused a lot of my depression too. The world we live in, right? And it sucks when that world is being echoed by the people you love. And you give no indication of wanting to follow the world to these people. But they still push it on you anyway. That's what sucks. And that really contributed. So yeah, I lost a lot of weight because I didn't want to look a certain way anymore. I didn't want to be a certain way anymore. I hated everything I was. I even hate me now. But I will say, without a doubt, that the person I am right now, I love myself more than I have at any other point in my life, maybe. That's not true. I can say that the person I look like today, I love me. Like I'm growing, you know, and I'm growing every second of every day, right? But I finally got to this point of loving myself enough that, yeah, I feel better about what I look like or who I am. When I went through my depressive phase, what I have written here is I wish my boyfriend didn't see that. My partner, he didn't deserve to see any of that. And the funny thing is he didn't see it. I think I hid it from him the best out of everybody. And he legit did not notice the weight loss. He noticed the weight gain because I added to the thickness. But he didn't notice the weight loss, and he didn't notice like my face changing or so rather he didn't want to notice because he's so focused on himself. So I completely understand. Yeah, for anything that he did see that he didn't see, I just hate that he fucking saw it. I wish he didn't see that. I wish my parents didn't see that, though they're partly the cause, right? Like, and it's funny because, I have old school traditional black parents, right? From the fucking 50s, 60s, right? Like their parents are, from the... So, yeah, being depressed around them certainly doesn't fucking help. But what I have written here is that I am so glad that I went through that phase over the years. Like for 10 years, I was fucking depressed. It's weird to say that you've been depressed for 10 years. Because it's weird to say that and then to actually see that because my face changed a lot. Like, it's weird, like, getting wrinkles when you're like 22, 23. It's weird. And you don't like it. Because I never liked it. Like, I started getting like these and like these lines in my head, like around like 21. And like all the fake smiling and the fake everything that I had to do to kind of carry myself out of these situations really took a toll on my body and everything. So every day I'm reminded that I went through something, and I'm glad, because I doubt I would look like this if I didn't go through something. So, but I'm so glad that I did. It's weird to say that I'm glad I was fucking depressed and wanted to kill myself a couple times over 10 years, but I'm glad, because I wouldn't be at this weird mental realization point, this budding point that I'm at right now. Like I've thought so many thoughts and came to so many actualizations. Is that a word? So many answers. All these questions I had about why this and that, and you know, I doubt I would have. It takes strength to go through a lot, you know. There are people out there suffering so much more than I am. And I think partly that's why I'm making this video, because I want to connect with people. Because I live in a world of pretenders, and I've come to a point in my phase in my life where I'm tired of being around pretenders. People who pretend like they have everything together, like everything is fine, when obviously it's not. Because I like to think, if I could talk to other people, maybe I could help them. Because I have helped myself. It's funny because, like I said earlier, you'll never know what I went through. But I went through that shit. But I know that there are other people going through it much worse than I did. And they need some help. And I would like to help. Yeah. So, but I have written here that, like, I had no work, really. I had no work, not even my computer. For all the hours I spent chronically online could keep me from the thoughts, you know, the bad thoughts. So yeah, I went through something. And I got out of that shit. So what is the whole point of making this video? What was the whole point of making this video? In front of this person's house, behind a church, in an empty ass parking lot on a Monday afternoon. Well, it was morning. The next hardest part is to be editing this fucking video. Because I don't think people realize, I don't think you could ever realize how many times I have wanted to stop recording and just go home and do nothing again with my life again for the fucking 2,586th time, you know? So many thoughts, so many times I've wanted to quit right now. Like, I don't want to record this video because I don't know what the fuck I talked about for the last, like, I have recorded for like 2 hours and now I have to go home and edit this into something. Into what? I don't know what the fuck I talked about. All I did was tell the internet, hey, I'm a 29-year-old black woman, no kids, I own a dog though, I live with my parents, I have no job, I'm in debt, help me please. Like, what the fuck, what is this video? And I look like a dude. Like, I don't even know. Like, what is this video? Yeah, I don't even know. What okay. And I have saggy titties. So yeah, now, like, it's so funny because I know myself. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna walk through that fucking door and I'm gonna think about all the bills, like all the debt, you know, all the shit I got myself into. Like, no one else got me into this. I had to get myself out now. And, you know, that's a big step. It's starting, right? So, wanting to come out of your situation and not staying in that dirty, stinky soup, you know? It's time to spill the soup. And it's hot. What was I talking about again? Yeah, I'm gonna get home and I'm gonna not want to do this. I'm gonna want to delete this video. It's funny because it'll either stay on my phone until I delete it off my phone, or I'll transfer it onto my computer and it'll just be on my computer, have it collecting space, you know, on my computer until I delete it then. But like, like, what is the point of this video? No one's gonna fucking see this video. And then the funny thing is, I have imagined all of this. I've thought about all of this. It's so weird. I've thought about starting and stopping already. I've thought about starting and recording longer and then stopping. I've thought about doing the whole thing like I just did, because I'm almost done. I could feel I'm almost done. I'm about to drive home. I've already imagined doing all of this and going home. I've already imagined doing all this, going home, walking up the stairs, and how I'm going to feel. I've already imagined all of this. I've even imagined when this video is uploaded. Like, the hardest part is going to be figuring out how to unhide my YouTube channel. Like, when I went through my depressive phase, and me and my brother, he's not older than me. I'm the oldest sibling. But the next oldest, we went through some shit. And it broke us. But because of that what happened, I almost deleted my YouTube channel. The only other thing besides my baby, my dog, besides my partner, my boyfriend, my best friend. And he really shouldn't be all of those things, right? He shouldn't be my best friend, my confidant, my blah, 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 blah. Like, you shouldn't expect, and I don't expect all of everything in one person. And, fuck, that's how my mind works. I just say, I think, anyway, but yeah, I've thought about all of this, right? And I've already thought, like, oh wait, I was talking about my YouTube channel. Yeah, when I hid my channel. Now I have to, like, it was already hard enough to figure out how to hide the channel. Because I went through it so bad. Like, all the effort that I put into that channel. Because my YouTube channel, that YouTube channel, and my fucking gaming channel, that at one point in my life was the only thing keeping me here, practically. Like, the idea that I would meet people, like, I would not be alone. Like, when I was younger, like, the idea of striving towards something online, like other people, like I was going to do what other people were doing and achieve what they had. And it's funny because I didn't want the money. I didn't want the fame. I just wanted to meet people and talk to people and not feel so fucking alone. And the funny thing is, you know, I never had that. Like, my YouTube channel never achieved that. Like, I never, at least to the extent that I want it, if that makes sense. Like, when I first started my channel, I failed at meeting people. Like, I think I made videos and I was hoping to, like, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. I don't know. But I failed. And then eventually I decided that, you know, I'm not good enough to, like, put myself out there. I'm not good enough to, like, pretend to be someone I'm not. I'm not good enough to attract people to me, you know? And I'm always going to be alone, you know? Oh, I have no friends, not even on the internet. But, it, you know, after I felt that, it got to a point where I'm just like, you know what, just do this to see what's going to happen. And that was the point of my YouTube channel for a while after. Just make videos just to give your life purpose. And I did that. I'm so fucking proud of my YouTube channel. But a part of me is so proud to say that I have lived through that feeling. I've been through those thoughts to actually have this, to be the person I am now, you know? I don't remember where I was going with this. I'm just dreading the editing, because I don't know how to edit this fucking video. Is this video going to be an hour-long ramble session? Like, who the fuck feels like sitting down, listening to an hour-long ramble session of a fucking androgynous black woman who's 30 years old? Because let's be real, we live in the age of the internet. Like, this is technological era. But culturally, all around the world, like, we have been inundated with youth and beauty. So who the fuck feels like sitting down at their computer or sitting on a bus looking at their phone at a
30-year. I mean, I don't look like the generic or stereotypical woman. Like I don't. So who do, like, and this is just me being a realist. Like who is this video supposed to appeal to? This is like a diary entry of just thoughts, right? Because this video is probably gonna be as unorganized as my life is right now, right? But yeah, who feels like sitting and looking at me? Would I even want to look at me? Like, how do I even make an engaging fucking thumbnail? We live in this age where everyone is used to seeing beautiful young women, or girls rather. We live in an age where everyone wants to see children. You want to see sexy children, right? So I'm a 30-year-old black woman and I don't look sexy. So I don't, who feels like seeing, that's what I'm saying. I'm a realist. I realize I've thought about all of this shit. And the funny thing is, and the sad thing is, I think I'm right. So whoever you are, person, whoever you are, who has gotten to this point, I don't know if I'm going to put this at the beginning or the end of the video. How and why are you here? The whole point of this video is to meet people, to help people, to help myself, right? To put myself out there, to finally stop being afraid of things, of nothing, right? I mean, of course there's everything to be afraid of. Like, I'm afraid of, thing is, I feel like I've already thought about it myself. I've already like heard it myself. Like, for instance, you know, I live again in this age, this technological era, right? It's not hard to go on a website, right, and find some of the most despicable things you've ever seen said about another human person. You know, it's not hard. Like, sure, websites are censoring things and all that, you know, the age of censorship. And, you know, I've been online enough, around enough, and open-minded enough to go into circles where people like me don't normally go, but I went there. And I think that really helped, like, that really made me into the person I am today as well. But things that have been said about, for instance, black women by other black men, by white men pretending to be black men, by white women pretending to be black women or black men, by children, by old people, by every fucking body, right? Of every other color, ethnicity on the planet, right? I live in an age where the information is out there. It's not hard to learn about practically anything, right? Here and there, right? So imagine, like, you know, what am I trying to say here? Like, this is how my fucking, I'm gonna get better at this, I think. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is the horrible, nasty, whatever the fuck shit that has been said about black women by every other person on the planet other than black women, right? Everything that the world thinks about us already, that I went there. I've seen it. I know. And that, of course, the internet in general really contributed to my depressive phase, as it contributes to everyone's depressive phase in this era, right? In this day and age, am I right? So I'm not alone there. But I just don't know. You know what? Whoever finds this video, you found this video probably because you needed to. Like, so yeah, yeah.